This video is part of the Three-Body Problem series. Let's talk about Jin Cheng and her original character counterparts, Wang Miao and Cheng Xin. This video is part of a character deep dive series about the differences between the characters in the Netflix series and the characters in the original books, where I talk about their similarities and differences, provide more context about the characters' backstories, and speculate about the potential future development or intended development of these characters in the Netflix series. Let's get into the video. In the Netflix series, Jin Cheng is one of the Oxford Five and she seems to have gotten most of the screen time. And this makes a lot of sense because she is the amalgamation of two prominent characters in the original books, Wang Miao and Cheng Xin. In the first half of the show, Jin is one half of Wang Miao. Wang Miao in the books is a nanomaterial scientist who sees a countdown. But that half of the character is played by a different character, Augie, and we'll talk about it in a video dedicated to her. Back to Wang Miao. Very importantly, he is the character who takes us through the VR game and the journey of discovering who is actually behind it. Wang Miao plays the VR game, which is called Three-Body, and I have a video on how he solved the game originally in the books, which was a lot more intriguing, methodical, and suspenseful than how the Netflix show did. In the Netflix show, this solving of the world behind the Three-Body game occurred really quickly without much suspense. Jin basically went to the game a couple times and then somehow she figures out the nature of the universe and gets the right answer. After solving for the nature of the universe, Wang Miao or Jin is invited to a gathering of individuals who support the Santee or Trisolarans, but with an additional undercover task of gathering intelligence and information for the police and detectives that are trying to understand all of the strange things going on and piece them together and find the root of it. In the book, this organization is called the Earth Trisolaris Organization, or ETO. In the Netflix series, I believe it's unnamed. And there is a lot of additional complexity regarding this organization, and I would love to make a future video, so drop a comment or leave a like if you are interested in hearing more about that. Now moving on to the second half of the show, where Jin is, instead of Wang Miao, she is basically Cheng Xin, the main character from Book 3, Death's End, and that is going to be Jin's character from now on. In the book Death's End, Cheng Xin's backstory is she was adopted by a woman whose boyfriends all left her because of her unwavering love for this girl she adopted. Cheng Xin grew up in China, went to university and graduate school there, and became an aerospace engineer. When the crisis era, or when it became publicized that aliens were on their way to Earth, began, she joins the Worldwide Planetary Defense Council's Strategic Intelligence Agency, or the PDC's PIA, which is headquartered in New York City, as an aide to the Directory of the Technology Planning Center, which was headed by Thomas Wade. On this job, Cheng Xin proposes the Staircase Project, using nuclear bombs to accelerate a payload to near the speed of light as a possible way to get intelligence from the Trisolaran or Santee fleet. This project goes through several iterations, eventually limiting the payload to only around 2 kilograms. During this time, Cheng Xin also receives a star from an anonymous gifter, which is her secret admirer rather than a close friend, and a combination of these two events leads her to eventually take on an important and huge role in the series, even eventually taking on one of the biggest responsibilities for human civilization. Now, apart from Cheng Xin's backstory and her professional identity, and also being gifted the star, Cheng Xin doesn't really have notable friends or relationships out of these events. In the Netflix series, Jin's background is a theoretical physicist and senior researcher part of the Oxford Five. Going further back, her background was that she was born in China, but her parents both died in a flood when she was very young. After that, she was sent to New Zealand, where she grew up, and then eventually she moved to London. Jin also has a boyfriend and is also part of the Oxford Five, who she shares close friendships with. So she has all these different support systems and people going through a similar connected journey with her. It is worth noting that both characters lost their biological parents but grew up with love and care, and I think that this will be a big factor that influences her future mindset and decisions as she faces the incoming Trisolaran or Santi invasion. Cheng Xin is arguably the most important character in the entire series, and although Jin Cheng seems to be part of an ensemble cast, she will remain the heart and sword of the story. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please give a like, comment, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a future video. Thank you for watching!